If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've left a narcissistic relationship and you're drowning in guilt. Maybe you're lying awake at night wondering if you made the right decision. Maybe you're checking their social media, seeing them move on so quickly and thinking, was I the problem? Maybe friends or family are telling you to forgive and forget, or that, relationships take work from both sides. Hi, my name is Michele Paradise, and welcome to my channel where I bring together my professional training and evidence-based information coupled with my own life experiences to help you heal and navigate the most important relationship in your life, which is the one with yourself. So let's unpack this. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now, because what I'm about to share with you might be the most important thing you hear today. That guilt you're carrying, it's not actually yours. Let me start by saying something clearly. Feeling guilty after leaving a narcissistic relationship is not a character flaw, and it's not unusual. It's actually proof of how deeply you were manipulated. And I know that might sound harsh, but stay with me. Narcissistic individuals are masters at something called guilt programming. This isn't something they do consciously in most cases, but it's incredibly effective. Throughout your relationship, you were systematically trained to believe several toxic beliefs. First, that their emotional state was your responsibility. When they were angry, it was because of something that you did. When they were sad, you should drop everything to fix it. When they were disappointed, it was your job to make it better. Number two, that your needs were selfish. Every time you expressed a need, set a boundary, or asked for basic respect, it was met with some form of punishment. Maybe they gave you the silent treatment. Maybe they accused you of being too sensitive or too dramatic or too demanding. Or maybe they turned the tables and made themselves the victim. You've heard about DARVO, DARVO, which stands for deny, attack, reverse, victim, order. So they become the victim, not you. Third, that leaving would destroy them. They probably told you things like, I can't live without you. I'm going to kill myself if you leave. You're the only good thing in my life, or I'll change. Just give me one more chance. I'll go see that therapist. I'll take a test for narcissism or whatever. These aren't expressions of love. They're manipulation. They're tactics designed to make you feel responsible for their well-being. The result? Your nervous system learned to associate your own needs and boundaries with danger and guilt. If you like what I'm saying so far, please hit the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Every time you tried to protect yourself, you were met with such intense emotional consequences that your brain learned to see self-protection as harmful. That's the guilt programming. I want to talk about the difference between healthy guilt and manipulated guilt, because, some guilt is healthy as long as we work through it and don't hold on to it, because this distinction is crucial for your healing. It truly is. Healthy guilt serves a purpose. It shows up when we've genuinely hurt someone through our actions or our words. It motivates us to apologize, to make amends, and change our behavior. We learned from it. Healthy guilt is proportional to what actually happened, and it resolves when we take appropriate action so we can let it go. But the guilt you're feeling after leaving a narcissistic relationship, that's totally different. That's what I call programmed guilt. It's disproportionate, persistent, doesn't resolve no matter what you do. It will always be there because it's not your guilt to own. It's being met upon you. Let me give you some examples of what I mean. You feel guilty for blocking them on social media, even though they used those platforms to stalk, harass, or manipulate you. Yeah, it's true. You feel guilty for not responding to their messages, even though those messages were filled with blame, manipulation, or false promises, future faking, false promises. You feel guilty for telling your friends and family the truth about what happened, even though you have every right to seek support and validation. This is so me. I went through this, and in fact, I'm still going through it in a relationship with a narcissist that I've cut out of my life. And I really can relate to all of these. It's very painful. I do understand it, but it's got to be done. Because you feel guilty for moving forward with your life, even though staying stuck would serve no one. Here's what I need you to understand. You are not responsible for managing another adult's emotions. I'm saying this to myself as well as I'm saying it to you, because especially not an adult who consistently disrespected your boundaries and well-being. You are not responsible for fixing someone who refuses to acknowledge their own behavior. And you are absolutely not responsible for staying in a relationship that was damaging your mental health. I just want you to let those land for a moment and replay that part, because I think you'll need to hear these more than once. I want to paint a different picture for you, because after being in a narcissistic relationship, I know this, it's easy to forget what healthy love actually looks like. In healthy relationships, your partner doesn't make you feel guilty for having boundaries. They respect them. They don't punish you with silent treatment or rage when you express a need. They listen and work with you to find solutions. And I know this too, because I'm happy to say that I found a healthy relationship. So I really understand, and this is exactly what is in that relationship. In healthy relationships, you don't walk on eggshells. You don't spend hours analyzing every word you said, wondering if you caused their mood shifting. No. You don't find yourself constantly apologizing for things that aren't your fault. In healthy relationships, both people take responsibility for their own emotions and mental health. Your partner doesn't blame you for their feelings, and they don't expect you to fix their problems for them. This is not just in romantic relationships, by the way. This is also in familial relationships, friendships, across the board. This is what healthy looks like. In healthy relationships, you feel safe to be yourself. You can express opinions, have interests, maintain friendships, and pursue goals without fear of retaliation or manipulation. And here's the big one. In healthy relationships, if someone decides to leave, the other person might be hurt or disappointed, but they respect that decision. They don't launch campaigns to guilt, manipulate, or punish the other person for choosing to walk away. The fact that you're feeling this level of guilt for leaving tells me that the relationship you left was not healthy. It tells me that you were conditioned to prioritize their comfort over your safety. And for a human being, safety is everything. It's more important than love and happiness, because they don't grow if you don't feel safe. So how do you start releasing this guilt? I'm going to give you 5 concrete steps. Step number 1, name it. Every time you feel that guilt creeping in, I want you to say out loud, this is programmed guilt. This is not my authentic feeling. Say it with me. This is programmed guilt. This is not my authentic feeling. Your brain needs to hear the difference. Number 2, challenge the thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, maybe I was too harsh, or maybe I should reach out, ask yourself, would I want my best friend to stay in a relationship like this? Would I want my daughter or son to stay in a relationship like this? What advice would I give someone I love in this situation? And I'm pretty sure I know what the answer will be. Number 3, document your reality. Write down specific examples of how you were treated. When the guilt hits, read your own words. Your memory might be foggy from trauma, but your written experiences don't lie. Step 4, build a support system. Surround yourself with people who validate your experience and remind you of your worth. Now, this may sound like a cliche. You've heard it many times. This one really, really works. And that's why it is a cliche, because we've used it a few times. This might mean joining support groups if you have to, working through it with a therapist who understands narcissistic abuse, or connecting with friends who've seen what you've been through. And number 5, Practice self-compassion. You would never expect someone to stay in a relationship that was damaging their mental health. Extend that same compassion to yourself. You made the brave choice to prioritize your well-being, and that deserves recognition, not guilt. So, what happens next? What's your next move? What does moving forward look like? I want to address something that might be coming up for you as you're watching this. You might be thinking, but what if I really did hurt them? What if I wasn't perfect either? Listen, nobody is perfect in relationships. You probably made mistakes. We all have. You might have said things in anger or reacted in ways you're not proud of. We all have. That's human, especially when you're being systematically manipulated and emotionally abused. But here's the key difference. You're here watching this video, examining your behavior and wanting to do better. That shows self-reflection and self-awareness, and that leads to growth. Someone with true narcissistic traits wouldn't be having this conversation with themselves. Your imperfections don't justify staying in a relationship that was damaging you. Your mistakes don't mean you deserve to be manipulated or abused. And your humanity definitely doesn't mean you should sacrifice your mental health to spare someone else's feelings. Moving forward means accepting that you made the best decision you could with the information and emotional capacity you had at that time. It means recognizing that choosing yourself wasn't selfish, it was necessary survival. You are not responsible for healing someone who hurt you. You are not obligated to light yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. And you are absolutely not required to carry guilt that was placed on you through manipulation. Your job now is to heal, to rebuild your sense of self, and to create the life you deserve. That guilt you're carrying, it's not serving you, and it's not serving them either. They don't even know. You're doing all this work, the burden of carrying guilt, and they have no idea that you're doing it. So you made the right choice. Trust that feeling. You really have made the right choice. So if you liked what I had to say, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button. All that it remains for me to say is thank you very much for following me today. Stay safe.